Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we'll be looking at some more hand grenades from World War II and flip this pouch open, see what we got. We have a pair of original RGD-33 Soviet stick grenades, and these were very common, especially early in the war. Wherever the Soviets fought, you would find these, and these were a very standard piece of kit for the Soviet military, and that stands for, the RGD stands for Hand Grenade Pattern Diakonov, 1933. So it was a pre-war design, and they had been in production well before the Germans invaded in 1941, and they were widespread. They were captured by the Germans, they were used by the Germans, but they were a very, very complicated piece of equipment to use, and especially in the Soviet military, where it seems like simplicity was really the norm. They just seemed kind of out of place compared to some of the other pieces of equipment that you'll see in the Soviet arsenal. Now, you had an 85 grain head of TNT in here. And just to answer the question before anyone asks it, these are both inert, so we're not handling live explosives or anything like that at this time. And you had about a 4 to 5 second fuse on these. So you had about 4 to 5 seconds after arming them to make them disappear. They are extremely complicated, in my opinion, in terms of getting them ready to use and actually using. And it didn't seem like a really easy mechanism at all. Now, both of these have been fitted with a fragmentation head, and you can see that is actually a separate piece that fits around your original sheet metal head, and that just fits around and is held in place by this little collar mechanism here. And it's just a really cheap way to give you a little more extra shrapnel. Still though, the detonation kill range with these was about 10 meters without the fragmentation sleeve, about 15 with the fragmentation sleeve. And a well-trained soldier could lob these about 30 to 40 meters. So you definitely could get some range on them. But compared to some of the other hand grenades that were used, especially defensive grenades, you really didn't have that kind of kill radius that you would have with some other defensive grenades. Still though, widespread. They even saw use in Korea and Vietnam, apparently. There are some fairly good accounts of US soldiers in Vietnam coming up against these from Viet Cong and even NVA. And by that time, who knows what condition they were in. Anyway, these are original and they are fairly old, and I don't want to do anything that's going to compromise them, but I will show you basically how they would work. So this one probably is a little bit better to use. So you have right here, you have this switch. Now you move that to the left, and that exposes this hole right here. Now what you would do is, again, it's a two-handed operation. So we'll put the camera, now we're not going to put the camera down, but you would actually grasp the warhead with this hand, or actually you'd use your offhand to do that. So you'd grasp your warhead like this, and then with your other hand you would actually pull the handle back and rotate it clockwise to a firing position, and then your grenade is ready to go, and then you would put this back into the safe position and you were good to go. So your grenade is ready, and before you actually were going to throw the grenade, you would open this. You grab this right here, and this has not been opened, so I really don't want to force it. You would open this, and you would put your detonator in here, in this hole that this would expose when you pop this top open. And then all you would do is put this on fire, and you'd lob your grenade. And the forward momentum of the grenade would actually make that detonator start the explosive chain, and you'd have 4 to 5 seconds before the grenade would go off. So a pretty complicated mechanism. I'm not sure that I'd want to be sitting here trying to remember to grab this head and move this and all that kind of good stuff. It's more complicated than a lot of other grenades that we've looked at or that I know of. And you know, I would show you how to actually pull this and all that good stuff, but again, I don't want to do anything that might compromise a grenade this old and in this kind of condition. I'm not sure what the internals might be like on these, but these are some pretty interesting grenades. Just good examples of Soviet technology and what was being used on the Eastern Front. Not really a lot of markings on them. Actually none on the head of this one that I see. This one has got a KK that you'll see there, and that's the only maker's mark that I was able to find. I know also, just as a side note, that these were also used in the Finnish winter and continuation wars, and I know Finland captured fair amounts of these and did use them. For how long they retained them, I'm really not sure. As I understand, manufacture had basically petered out on these by about 1942, maybe early 43, in favor of much simpler Soviet designs that we'll look at in another video. But hopefully you've enjoyed taking a look at these unusual pieces, and if you have any questions, post them in the comments, and if there's anything else you would like to see us look at, let me know and I will see what I can do for you. Thanks for watching.